Welcome one and all to the world's first Scottish and UK Polluter Awards. Stay tuned as we present the results of our public vote on Scotland and the UK's worst polluters. We begin with our Scottish awards. And our first category is the Worst Polluter in a Supporting Role Award. Now, I'm sure our voters can confirm that this was a tricky choice. We had some big names nominated and each brought their A game to make sure fossil fuels continue to cling on.
Hi, first up, we have JP Morgan Chase. And first up, we have JP Morgan Chase. This big-time investment bank has never been afraid to break the rules, so that pesky Paris Agreement wasn't going to stop them investing $195 billion in fossil fuel projects since 2015. Their speciality is financing ultra-deep water oil and gas, and as well as liquefied natural gas. But this tour de fossil forces had helped all along the way. Scotland has offered them residency since 1999, and their offices in Glasgow's Argyle Street. Now let's look to our next candidate. That is Oil and Gas UK. OG UK CEO Deirdre Mitchie has highlighted that their lobbying of the UK government led to reduced taxes on the oil and gas sector, saving them $100 million a year. Now that is a hashtag girlboss move. Next up, we have Strathclyde Pension Fund. The Glasgow City Council's fund is the second largest in the UK. Their 500 million plus going into fossil fuels covers ExxonMobil, Shell, Chevron, Rio Tinto, BP, as well as other big names. The council declaring a climate emergency while investing in all these polluters shows their commitment to greenwashing, but it won't wash away our sleepless nights worrying about unfolding climate calamity. TK Shipping. This is the world's 8th biggest oil and gas shipping firm, which specializes in transporting liquefied natural gas, which is extracted from some of the most fragile ecosystems on Earth, such as in the Russian Arctic. And TK know how to turn a profit by reducing their spending on workers, producing their oil and gas in some of the least regulated areas of the world, such as Angola and West Papua, while plonking their headquarters in Bermuda for tax avoidance purposes. Their office in Glasgow is right next door to a COP26 venue as well. Good to know thy neighbours, especially when they're as committed to climate catastrophe as TK. And finally, we have Barclays. This big boss bank have invested $85 billion in fossil fuel projects since the Paris Agreement, making them Europe's #1 polluter funder. They also have shiny new offices just south of Glasgow city centre. Lovely.
Wow, what a rich palette of exploitation we've just heard about. Let's find out the winner, shall we? And the trophy for the worst polluter in a supporting role goes to Barclays. And now we go to Divest Strathclyde to accept the award on behalf of Barclay.
And welcome to the Glasgow Calls Out Polluters Scottish Polluter Awards. We're here in front of the new Barclays Glasgow campus building, which is currently under construction as we speak behind us, to present the award for Worst Polluter in a Supporting Role to Barclays Bank. I'm here with Isla Scott of the campaigning group Divest Strathclyde, who is kindly going to accept the award on their behalf. Isla.
Hiya. So Barclays is one of the worst, has one of the worst records for addressing climate change. They put billions into fossil fuel projects, and they're one of the worst funders for fossil fuel infrastructure in the whole of Europe. They invest in coal mines, tar sands, fracking, and deep Arctic drilling. An example is the Keystone XL pipeline in Canada, which is being strongly resisted by the indigenous peoples there because it would severely impact them. In the year 2020, it was found that Barclays had invested over $26.4 billion in fossil fuel projects, and that was an increase of $200 million from the previous years. So much for their net zero commitments.
Thanks, Isla. It sounds like they're a worthy winner of this award. So if there's anyone out there who is watching and hearing about these things, is there anything that they can do to take action about this?
Yes, indeed there is. The folk are very welcome to join Glasgow Calls Out Polluters, to come along to our meetings and take part in our actions and events, which are to expose the big polluters like Barclays. And there is an open letter which organisations can sign to kick polluters out of COP26. And Divest Strathclyde, we campaign for the Strathclyde Pension Fund to divest from the $836 million that they have invested in fossil fuels, and that's in many of the same multinational companies that Barclays finances. So we'd love you to come along to our meetings, take part in our actions and events. We have an open letter as well to the Strathclyde Pension Fund Committee, and both Glasgow Calls Out Polluters and Divest Strathclyde will be organising around COP26, which is coming up in November.
Thanks very much, Isla. So that just leaves it for me to present to you this beautiful award for Worst Polluter in a Supporting Role for Barclays Bank.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to Barclays for such a well-deserved award for the huge contribution that they make to the climate crisis. Thank you.